Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Farlander or Bust. Hey, pipe down out there. I'm introing the episode. Thank you. What the heck actually happened to that guy? He actually listened. But yeah. Woof. Yeah, no, Wolfie. You already woofed, so we're starting the episode. But welcome back to Farlander or Bust. Here we are. And I don't know where that zombie was, but he was quiet. Oh, hello, good sir. Let us dispatch of this creeper. Ooh, it was a good thing I did the math right. Otherwise, I would have been exploded. But yeah, welcome to Farlander or Bust, episode 449. That's a lot of episodes, Wolfie. You haven't been here for all of them, but most of them you have been. Almost up to episode 450, if, you're aware of how to count in order. But, where's our... there it is. Our compass. We are heading east once again in Farlander or Bust. Such strange times we live in. Heading east in Farlander or Bust. It will be a full week today that we've been doing such things as these. Well, actually, in 2 Minecraft days, then it will be a full week of episodes, I suppose. A minute amount of time in the grand scheme of things, but interesting all the same. And, of course, we are doing that to hopefully raise more money for Child's Play charity at farlanderbust.com. Get me to turn around. Head back in the correct direction. We are up to $28,000. $28,169.51 raised for Child's Play charity. Of course, in just a week, that is up a whole 11% of our goal. We're up to 56%. So we went from 22,600 to 28,169, and I do appreciate all the donations and support coming in, and the amusement, I suppose, would be a good word for it, and a lot of first-time donations, and that is really honestly the goal behind this little stunt, if you want to call it that, walking east. A lot of first-time donations to Child's Play charity. I do realize there are quite a few very frequent donors and very generous frequent donors who have donated many times in the past, regardless of direction I was walking in, and I appreciate those as always, but getting a little bit of a inspiration to inspire, to divvy up the inspiration to new donations. I do appreciate that, and we'll get to a lot of those questions here in a moment. I don't know if I mentioned, it's Friday, February 13th. 13th, 2015 is when we are walking here. And, Friday the 13th. Oh, I thought that was a pink sheep. Ooh. No, just a pig. But we're going to continue on, and since it's Friday, I'm just going to jump right into the questions. Just jump right into them. This one from Thomas in Austria. This is my first donation to Child's Play charity via Farlander or Bust. I really like the idea of deliberately walking in the wrong direction, and this encouraged me to donate because I want to see the Farlands. Yes, as do I, but you might want to maybe check out a video or two of people who have actually teleported themselves there. Because this is going to be a long journey. This is, what is going on with the clouds? This little cumulonimbus. It's a clear day here on Friday the 13th in Farlander or Bust, except for some clouds on the horizon. P.S. Thomas asks, I wondered if you knew anything about Austria. I am going to take the truthful route here. I did not decide to look up things about Austria beforehand, and I will truthfully answer, I do not know all that much about Austria. So it sounds Austrium. Awesome Austria? No, that didn't work. Where is it actually? It's a Europe, kind of eastern northern Europe, around Germany-ish. Oh, watch out for the lava there. Is that right? Am I wrong? Do I at least somehow have a vague It's in the northern hemisphere of our planet Earth. I have a very vague idea of where Austria is, I suppose, but I suppose that's where you live, so it must be of importance to you, and I do appreciate the donation coming all the way from Austria. Speaking of long distances to travel, ooh, let's check out this. Oh, I hear skeletons, but that's kind of a neat waterfall. It goes in front of a gap there. Neat. Neat, he says. Oh, and is this... Oh, no, there's a lot of waterfalls around here. Ooh, and skeletons. Gotta go. See you later. Gotta go. Boop, boop, boop. Nope, excuse me. Trees. Out of the way. Foliage. Here is another question. You convinced me to donate for the first time. Here's my question for you. If you were to choose one person from history to spend a day with, who would it be and why? This is from Sticky. Well, Sticky, one person. I'm gonna go with living people, because there's always been a question of, oh, if you could have dinner with one person, living or dead, and from history, who would you choose? Yep. And so yeah, I'll go with living, as if like I could arrange a day with somebody living. It would be this day. It would be this day. That's a rough one. Possibly maybe Buzz Aldrin. He seems, the person who, first of all, walked on the moon, obviously, but he seems incredibly, even in his age, he is 84 or 5 or something like that, quite active as a space exploration advocate, and he just seems somebody who's really passionate about his ideas and the future and stuff like that. And he'd be interesting. I don't know. I feel like to spend the day with, I would be wasting his time. Maybe I'll have sit down to have some coffee for an hour or so to just enjoy, and then I'll let him get on with his business. But maybe probably Buzz Aldrin. I don't know, maybe, on the other side, why not somebody like Notch? It'd be cool to hang out with Notch for a day. Seems to have a little bit of free time nowadays. But no, that would be interesting, and maybe not even in his new swanky mansion in LA, but maybe back in his hometown and where Minecraft was born. That would be all right, I suppose. Yeah, I don't really... As an introvert, I can't say I have a long list of people who I want to make new friends with or befriend. It's kind of like, I will enjoy your work and your success and personality from a distance, please. From a distance. Oh, man. But yeah, thank you very much for your donation there, Sticky. Susie... spelled with an X, there's an X in there, from Sweden, says, I decided to make my first donation to Child's Play charity. Huzzah! Success! Great success. How many different animal species do you think you've ever seen in the wild? Okay, so zoos don't count. How do you feel about that number? In the wild. Let's see here. Well, I mean, there are... of particular, I suppose what is in the wild is like rabbits and different types of birds in backyards count. Maybe are those considered in the wild? It's actually a low number. I mean, I've seen out west and stuff, deer and elk. Buffalo, bison, not buffalo. Buffalo are the ones from Africa. Bison. The North American bison in the wild. Or were those wild? I don't know. Those might have been not wild. Those might have been like ranched buffalo. Huh. I don't know. Whoa. Animals in the wild. I've seen eagles and hawks and cool stuff like that. Alligators in Florida. Whenever you go to Kennedy Space Center and take the tour, you're always going to see an alligator in the just right there on the side of the road. So watch where you're walking, first of all. And then there's like a big eagle's nest that they always pass by when you're on the bus tour. You know what I'm talking about if you've been on the bus tour at Kennedy Space Center, Florida. In the wild, probably not many. I've never been to anywhere like, I suppose that you can consider, like that you see on the wilderness shows, like on an African safari or any sort of. Yeah, I really haven't. Wow, it's kind of sad, I suppose, but good and bad. Well, yeah, I mean, we even had like coyote and stuff. But again, is that what you consider in the wild, or is that in the suburbs? Because they didn't move into our place. We moved into theirs. Oh, I'm not going to sleep on a boat. I'm going to sleep on a bed. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's go to sleep and continue pondering this postulation in the morning. And wakeness. I see a bunch of cows. Speaking of wild animals, it's a smorgasbord right here. We got chickens, we got a whole herd of sheep, and a black sheep out of the whole herd, as well as the cows, the bovine representing the bovine representatives here. I don't know. It's got to be less than 24, maybe, like wild animals. I don't know. It's where do you draw the line? I suppose. Like I said, probably various species of bird I've seen, an insect, perhaps even. Definitely less than 40 or so. I'm sure, but again, probably this is like a beta ravine right there. Yeah, hard to say. Probably, you always feel like a wild animal I've always wanted to see, I suppose I'll go, is a great white shark. Just because I think they're amazing. They're these, like, prehistoric, like, they have evolved as, like, perfectly as they possibly can. And just something so massive. Oh, I've seen the humpback whales. I've seen the humpback whales and like dolphin and stuff, and the manatees in Florida. So yeah, I've probably done better than some, I suppose. But yeah, it's either like a good or bad thing. It's like, oh, you've seen all these wild animals, but you always wonder, like, if you go on these safaris or these like expeditions, like you hear about the people. There is a place in. Oh, there was just recently a news article where somebody got attacked by a gorilla in Africa. There's like one place where there's wild gorillas that are all very protected, and you can take like a hike into there and actually see the wild gorillas. And there was a photographer who got punched. He got punched square in the jaw by a gorilla that was running past him, and he was kind of in his way. But that would be terrifying. But you always wonder, okay, we want to preserve these wild habitats and these creatures, but does observing them really mess them up? Like going out to the wild elephants and seeing the wild elephants, does that impact? Or even, I had mixed feelings about seeing the humpback whales in the Dominican Republic, because it's like kind of a natural breeding, spawning area that they all go to in the summer or the winter or some season, I don't know. You see all these boats out there that are out there specifically to watch the humpback whales. Isn't that kind of annoying for the humpback whales? Just let them be wild. It's not really natural for us humans to enter into their habitat, even if it's just observing them or whatever. So I always have some mixed feelings about that. So yes, preserve the animals, save the toigas and all that other stuff, but maybe from a distance. Same. It's pretty much the same answer I had to spending time with somebody for a day. I appreciate you, but from a distance. I made some very wild hand gestures there that you didn't see, because obviously we're not watching me, we're watching the video game here, but oh man. So yeah, thank you, Susie with an X from Sweden. This one is anonymous. In a previous episode, you said you were not interested in space exploration games like Elite. I don't know if I'd call them space exploration games, but like space combat games are probably what I'm least interested in. But the question continues. Any interesting... Ow! All right, that was fun. Any interest in something that might be more exploration focused? Yeah, I think that's what you meant. Space combat games versus space exploration. Something more exploration focused, like the possibly overhyped No Man's Sky. Any interest in a story-driven exploration game like Sunless Sea? I personally have not heard of Sunless Sea, so I will perhaps have to check that out. No Man's Sky seems interesting. I hope they aren't overpromising the possibilities there and what the end product is going to be. It's a little bit scary because people are coming into it with a lot of, I think, preconceived notions of what procedurally generated games can be, and I'm not sure if it's trying to be like an MMO or an RPG or you know, you even hear about, you know, everybody was so hyped about Destiny, about, oh, it's a cross between the first-person shooter and the RPG and multiplayer, and it really didn't... some people really like it, and that's fine, but from what I've seen, it doesn't seem like it panned out quite as grandly as people anticipated and hyped it up to be. So I worry about that with No Man's Sky a little bit, but yeah, probably if they were focused more on exploration, and perhaps even like comedy, like Kerbal Space Program has the comedy angle going there for space exploration, then maybe. But yeah, the space combat stuff I just never got into. You know, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. I really am somewhat fickle in my vid game choices. Oh, this is interesting. I thought it might go through there, but it does not appear to do such things as these. Does it? No, that's just gravel. All right, we're going around, Wolfie. Going around. So yeah, I do appreciate your donation and your question there, but yeah, perhaps I'll have to keep an eye out for more exploration, free, roamy, non-shooty, pow-pow, bang-bang, explosion-y space games. We will see. Paul R. asks, now that you have a place with a yard and stuff, have you ever thought of trying some gardening? Flowers or vegetables? Whoa, I think I just had a stroke. Vegetables? Wait, where was it? Or whatever? Just anything legal, quotation marks, that grows? You don't know where I moved to. I could very well have moved to a state where everything is legal. Well, almost everything is legal. No, I don't know. Oh, hey! Look at that old chestnut! It's an elevated hidey hole of episodes past. We have crossed paths with ourselves once again. This is an interesting turn of events. It's kind of cool. We don't find things. How did I miss that awesome sand mountain? Yeah, we don't find things, like, at all, ever, when we're walking Farlander bus. This is cool. This is kind of like, I suppose, what it would be like if, you know, there were villages or structures or something in this version of the game, which there are not. We're playing in Minecraft Beta 1.7.3. But yeah, that's neat. It's still too early to go to sleep, so I'm not going to sleep on it again, but I could break the bed and bring it with me and be very resourceful like that, because this is no longer acting as a spawn point, but I'll leave it because it's kind of a cool little, it's a monument to the past directions we have walked. Neat stuff. Watch out for the cactus there, Wolfie. I just get a spin move. Whoa, let's not spin move right into it. I would be terrible at football. I am a no, Wolfie. So would Wolfie. So I haven't yet. I planted some things in some pots, which have had varying success. But yeah, I've considered getting, because I can't like dig up the yard and be like, hello, I'm now making a farm in my backyard. I've been thinking of getting some of those elevated planter boxes, just so that I can like do it separately. You know, I feel like you know, maybe simple things like herbs, an herb garden, herbs, and whatnot would be good. But otherwise, you know, I did growing up. My parents did have a garden in the backyard, and they did tomatoes and sometimes strawberries. One year they tried corn, and I don't think it turned out too great. Cucumbers, carrots. Did I say carrots already? You know, the underground things. Radishes, perhaps. I don't know. I don't remember if there were radishes, but you know, that was always interesting. I'm not huge, however, on the gardening and yard work aspect of things. But maybe it could be a hobby to partake. It's nice to be outside in the weather. You know, it's cool to make things grow and whatnot. I do have house plants and stuff that I try to take care of. That was one thing I had. Here's a little bit of history, I suppose, for you. I had spider plants for the longest time, and actually, I keep things for a long time, like pet box turtles and YouTube series, and in the first grade, I think it was the first grade, as like a teaching experiment, we grew plants from seeds, kind of like to learn about germination and photosynthesis and whatnot, and it was a spider plant. And I had that original spider plant for the longest time, and I think it eventually died, but if you know spider plants, they're constantly spawning. Every year or so, you get these little shoot-offs that spawn new spider plants that you can then take off and plant again. And I had, like, I think it was only, like, the second generation of spider plants. Spider plant dad. That I still had at home, and it was huge. And I had multiple other pots. Careful, Wolfie, what have you done? I had multiple other pots of different spider plants that came from that, but I couldn't bring it with. It wouldn't survive. I wouldn't be able to take it with on the move here. So they're in family members' hands. But yeah, I've had a lineage of spider plants since I was in first grade. So what's first grade? Like 6 years old. So like 25 years, maybe. Yeah, something like that. It's crazy. Let's go to sleep and continue in the morning. And awakeness. And, oh, hi, Wolfie. Let's not hurt ourselves again, shall we? Okay, or we can just do exactly that. Here, have a seat. Have a seat, have a bone, and we will continue on. Zombles. We're getting through the questions here. Let's answer... Oh, when did I take... Oh, with the boat damage. Boating problems. All right, one question here, a very different one. I do appreciate the different questions as well. Can you? This is from Bubbers. Bubbers, can you name all of the states of America from memory? I could only remember 49. Dang Nebraska. Cheers, he says. Yes and no. Speaking of the first grade, I think it was also the first grade. Do they still do this in elementary school? They have little pageants where the children sing. It seems a little bit cult-like, but you always do, like, you sing things, and the parents come and they film you on the big camcorders back in the day anyway, with the full-size VHS in them. But we had one of those things. It might have been the first, second, third grade even, where there was a song we sang that was all the states in alphabetical order, and I don't remember it completely. I remember the tune, and I kind of remember it, but I'm gonna attempt it for your viewing pleasure right now, or listening pleasure. But here we go. All right, it's very possible that like every elementary school in the history of time has done this song. It's the state song. Let's see here. I'm gonna mess it up, but I need a metronome or something. To get my tone right. All right, here we go. Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, blah blah blah, Delaware, Florida. Oh, that's where it runs out. Florida. Illinois, Indiana, or something like Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Montana, something, Nebraska. See, I remember Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island. No, that's that's later. Pennsylvania. Ba 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 ba. Oh, see, now I've lost it. Something, 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 something. Texas, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin, Wyoming. And then it went on. These are the states and blah, 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 United States and whatever. Oh, man. But yeah, I missed a few there. You'll have to count down what I actually got there. And wow. There we go, folks. The first and the last time KurtJMac sings in Farlander Buster or any of his videos. But yeah, that was the song we sang, and it gets stuck in your head. And I suppose that's the point. They teach you something when you're 6 years old, and they put it to rhyme and rhythm, and hopefully you remember it. The state capitals, however, the state capitals was a test we had to take in social studies or something in the 2nd or 3rd grade or whatever. That was the worst. Trying to remember those, and then getting like quizzed on them by your parents because you have to study for them, and it's just like, oh, I don't know, Bismarck, whatever. I don't remember the names of these cities and states. Oh man, why isn't New York the capital? Or whatever. Oh man, that was the worst. That was not perhaps I would have done better had I remembered those by song, but perhaps not. Oh, man. Oh. Let's see here. Where I've lost. Oh, the states. Okay, yeah, that's the thing I just answered. The states from memory. Sort of, maybe, not really. Rasmus asks or says, Flob has alerted me to the NASA ESA live streams and rekindled my interest in space. Oh, let's get some more pigs for Wolfie here. Where did we go? Rekindled Rasmus. Oh, that was just okay, that has nothing to do with the question. That was just a nice thing to say. Rasmus. Hello, Wolfie. Murder. Ooh, got a flower for some reason. The question is, do you have any video game or TV shows or movies that you consider a guilty pleasure? People have asked like what your guilty pleasure food is or music or whatever. I don't know. I don't really subscribe to the guilty pleasure way of describing something. If it's something that makes you happy, then yay, you shouldn't be guilty about it. But video game? I mean, I suppose people are surprised that, like, the Tomb Raider series is one of my favorite. But I don't know if it would be, like, a guilty pleasure. I'm certainly, in the latest iterations, getting no pleasure from playing those at all. Even, yeah, like TV show. No, I don't watch that much TV, so the TV I do watch is kind of selective, and only the choice cuts, if you will. So, yeah, I'm not sure at all. Yeah, I don't, Yeah, sorry. I mean, thank you very much for your donation in the question, but I can't think of, like, what I would consider, like, ooh, I watch this show. I watch Love It or List It on the Home and Garden Network or whatever. No, I don't. It's terrible. It's the same show every time. Okay, I've watched some episodes, but it's the same show every single time. They find 3 properties, and then the other lady tries to fix up their own house. And it's the same show. They get in arguments. They run over budgets. There's drama. There's television-induced drama, televised drama, and it's woo. it's not something I watch. Sorry, but yeah, no, I don't have any of those guilty pleasures, I'm afraid. Oh, here we go. From C. Richter. He's off the Richter scale. I'm an aspiring aerospace engineer and was curious if you had considered taking lessons to get a private pilot's lesson. To get a private pilot's lesson? Oh, license. You just said lesson twice. Either that or I copied and pasted it wrong. Yes, and all through middle school, I kind of wanted to do that. Very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very adamantly, even to the point of saying, okay, maybe not private pilot's lessons, but I'll join the Air Force and become a pilot there, because that's clearly what happens to everybody who joins the Air Force. So, yes, I've considered it, and even after that, even after I quit my job, how am I doing for wool? I can grab some wool here. After I quit my job, and before I started to decide to do YouTube as a replacement, I'm like, maybe I can, like, get a private pilot's license, and even if not becoming an actual pilot as a job, I could use that to become either, like, a mechanic, an aircraft mechanic, or work in flight control or something. Would be an interesting, one of those not usual jobs. Excuse me there, naked sheep. But, I've considered it, but it never followed through with it. It seems like seems a little bit high pressure, to be honest. And I'm not sure I work well in high pressure environments, situations, perhaps. But yeah, more luck to you for being an aspiring aerospace engineer. Certainly enjoy your very interesting career you should be able to get from that. Let's see here. Where are we at? Oh, the sun is kind of setting, so I think... Yeah, I think... I'm looking for... Whoops, excuse me. Yeah, I think we had all the fun we can take. We sang a song. We did a bunch of stuff like that. We ran into an old hidey hole that we left behind. It was great times to be had by most. So let's make a proper beach here for Wolfie to stand on. There you go. Good job. Let's do that. And let's dig in, say here maybe, and end off episode 449. We've got episode 450 coming up on Monday. Very crazy that we have gone for this. Oh, that's a problem. That is a minor problem I have encountered here. Let's do that. We're going to have to do the same over here as well. Oh, where's all the dirt gone? Alright, I think we should be safe now. So I hope everybody has a good weekend. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. That's tomorrow, so good luck with that, I suppose, if you're doing anything. As the moon rises, a strange sight here outside the hidey hole. Here, have a light, Wolfie. And we're going to block that off. Let's make the beds. And keep going to Child's Play Charity. Well, you can go to childsplaycharity.org and learn more about Child's Play Charity there. But if you want to go to farlanderbus.com, you can donate to Child's Play Charity to add to the increase and final push here for Season 5 of Farlander Bus, trying to raise $50,000 to turn around and head back west on our way, and of course to have the Flobathon live stream celebration, at the end of which we will finally press F3 to see how far we have walked towards the Farlands. Boop. And yeah, I've been working on trying to get the updated map, but I'm having some problems making zip files of such large size. At the last monument, the 1479940 monument, we were at 11 point something gigabytes of a world save, and that makes it difficult to both transfer files and make overviewer maps. So trying to work on that. That would be very nice if I could get that updated before the next time we press F3. So that'd be cool. But yeah, I do appreciate the continued support. All these first-time donations to Child's Play charity. I'm glad you were able to help out, and I hope you feel good about that. You're helping get toys, books, and games to kids in hospitals around the world, and it is much appreciated by, of course, them and Child's Play Charity and myself. I do appreciate it so much. Everybody have a good weekend. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time. Something, Texas.